If you want to change your life, you've got to start earlier than everybody else. We spend the majority of our life thinking about our dreams and not taking any action. And the reason for it is because we think so much about what other people will think about us when we pursue our dreams. My name is Dixon from Hope Books. And at Hope Books, we help first-time authors discover, share, and publish their message of hope. We help you publish your book, publish and launch your book. And I have to tell you, it's so frequent that I hear that the reason someone hasn't published a book is because of somebody else. I haven't published my book because it's going to take away time from my family. I haven't published my book because the kids aren't grown up yet. I haven't published my book because my spouse wouldn't understand, or I have too much responsibility at work or at church or what have you. But the reality is, nobody really cares about what you do in the morning. Nobody really cares. As long as you're nice to people, as long as you're engaged, as long as you help get the kids ready for school, nobody really cares what you're doing when it's still dark outside. Nobody really cares what you're doing at 5 a.m. And that's really the key. If you want to change your life, you've got to start earlier than everybody else. Our youngest is now in 3rd grade, and we have 3 kids. So I know what it's like to have kids in diapers. I know what it's like to have kids wake up in the middle of the night crying. I know what it's like to have that burden, have that weight of responsibility of really little kids. And now to have teenagers. And it's like every season can be a reason to take action or an excuse to wait. And I want to challenge you in this training to not wait anymore, See, the reality is you don't know how much time you have. We recently lost an extended family member. One of my relatives, his mom just passed away. And, the question I always ask, and maybe this is a little cruel, but the question I always ask when somebody passes away is, did they write their story? And she didn't. And it's I'm not trying to be judgmental, but there is a judgment there. The judgment is that she didn't think it was important enough to write down her story. And that brings me a lot of heartache. I'm sad for her son. I'm sad for her grandson. I'm especially sad for her grandson's children, who will never read the story of their great-grandmother. That story is gone. And there's only one person who could have told that story, and it's her. And there's only one person that can tell your story, and that's you. You're the only person who can tell your story. Somebody else can try to tell your story, but it's not going to be the same because they don't really know what it's like. They don't really know the inner struggle, the turmoil, the frustration, the challenge, the decision. They don't actually know exactly what it was like. But you could help your family. You could help them skip a decade of struggle in a day of reading. And that's why I think it's so important to flush the excuse of family and use family as a reason instead of as an excuse. I hear this all the time. I hear it all the time. I want to come to that writer's retreat, but my husband has a lot going on. I want to go to that conference, but listen, my kids need me to take them to soccer. I want to do it. I want to get up early, but I've got so much on my plate. I've got so much responsibility, and I'm never going to argue with you about your own reasons, and I'm never going to fight you for your own excuses. All I'm here to do is to share with you the valuable lesson that I've learned. And the valuable lesson is they don't really care. They just don't really care. They don't really care what you're reading. They don't really care when you go to bed or when you wake up. They don't really care about those things. As long as you're showing up as a nice person, right? As you're showing up as a mom or as a dad, if you're making sure that it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Are you providing for those basic needs for them? Like, they don't really care if you're into playing tennis or mahjong or backgammon, or if you want to go to writers' conferences, or if you like to collect baseball cards. Like, your family doesn't actually really care about that. And the reason I bring all this up is because I want to say to you that you have a lot more agency in your life than you might think you do. You are not powerless in your life. You are not powerless. In fact, I think you'd be surprised at how much power you actually have that you could claim in your life. Like, I think you would be shocked at how supportive your family would be if you would just take action. If mama started getting up early and mama started going to the gym at 5, is anyone going to be mad? No. Is anyone going to even care? Probably not. You know what they are going to do, though? They're going to cheer you on. They're going to go, what? Mom, where did that come from? How did you do that? And then over time, they're going to go from not caring to cheering to celebrating with you. What if you actually got your butt up off of the couch and you said, you know what? This is it. This is it. This is my time to shine. Because if I don't do it when I'm 50, if I don't do it when I'm 60, if I don't do it when I'm 39, like, no one's coming to save me. No one's coming to wake me up at 4:45 to get me out of bed, to get me to the gym. Nobody's forcing my pen on a blank page to write my story. But the clock just keeps on ticking. The sand in the hourglass keeps on dropping every day. Every hour is an hour that you will never have again. Every day is a day that you'll never be able to do over. And God has determined your days. He has numbered your days. And our job is to number our days, right? Teach us to number our days that we might gain a heart of wisdom. For you to number your days and to say, listen, I've only got 52 Saturdays a year. What if on Saturday, I just let everybody sleep in and I don't let myself sleep in? What if I just start on Saturday? That's it. Just Saturday. What if Saturday, when everybody sleeps until 6 or 7, I wake up at 4? What that means is that Friday night, I'm going to miss part of the movie. But you know what? Nobody really cares if you finish the movie. They want to finish the movie, but they don't really care if you're halfway through the movie and you say, love you guys, I'm going to bed. It's 9:59. I go to bed at 9:59. I say, guys, it's been fun. What if instead of living a life where you finish all the movies, you have a life of half-finished movies, but completely finished books? What if you live a life that instead of the comfort of the sleep, you have the confidence of completion of your manuscript? Like, those are the choices. Now, this is biblical too. I was reading Proverbs 20 and was talking about love ye not sleep. Do not love sleep. Sleep leads to poverty. Now, what he's saying there is that not taking action means you won't have results. And if you don't take action, that you won't have results. And the results that you don't have are measurable. They're measurable financially. That's how the Bible measures it. Poverty. They're measurable in the books that you write, in the pages that you write. They're measurable in the reps you do, in the miles on the treadmill you walk. They're measurable in the amount of times you check in at the gym. So I love all the apps these days. We have an app for my gym, and it measures how many times I've gone. It actually shows me when I've signed in, and I've got a streak going, and I don't want to break the streak. And so nobody cares. I'm getting back to my house at 7:06 on the spring break day. The house is dark. My dog is sleeping in right now. Listen, wake up before your dog. Wake up before your kids. Wake up before your spouse. And what will happen is your life will change. Not because anybody's forcing you to, but because you made the decision. You made the decision to change. And when you make the decision to change and then take action based on the decision, then everything changes for you. But it doesn't change until you change. And so that's what I'm saying right now. I'm looking at my house right now. Nobody cares. I could have waken up at 3 or at 7:06 and no one cares. That, my friends, is a 4-hour gap. I woke up at 4:30, okay? So I've been up for 2 hours, 36 minutes right now. I just got 2 hours and 36 minutes of prayer, reading, fitness, recording this. I wrote a Facebook post. I went to the grocery store and I filled up with some protein for the day that I'm going to throw in the crock pot and the grill. I did all these things. I had some ideas for the business, for my book I'm working on. I wrote out my goals. I reflected on my progress. All these things happened in the last 2 hours and 36 minutes. And you know who doesn't care at all? Right there. Those people in that house right there. Nobody cares. You know what they care about, though? They care about the results. The financial abundance that happens as a result of the creativity and the discipline and the consistency that I apply. They care about that. They care about going on the vacation that all this hard work just paid for. They care about their dad being healthy and fit so that he's able to hold their grandkids one day. They care about the identity of being a kid of Brian Dixon, being a kid of a guy who speaks in chapel and leads a company and runs a bookstore and is a leader. I just led our Bible study last night. Like, they care about their reputation. They care about their status. They care about their security and their safety. They care about their provision and their comfort. They care about the kind of house they're growing up in. Is it a house of peace? Is it a house of encouragement, or is it a house of chaos? Is it a house of order, or is it a house of anger? They care about that. And all those things are true because I woke up earlier, and they don't care when I wake up. They just want the results. They don't really care about the work that I do. They just want the results from the work that I do. And that's what I want to say to you today. It's time to wake up earlier. It's time to go to bed at 9:59. You want to join the 9:59 challenge? Message me. Go to bed at 9:59 and message me and say, I did it. I went to bed at 9:59. I woke up at 4:29. 9:59, 4:29. There you go. Your time is set. Your bedtime is set. Your wake up time is set forever and ever. Amen. Until you breathe your last breath. 9:59, 4:29. That's the formula. That's the formula, because you'll get an hour and a half to 2.5 hours a day. And nobody cares what you do, that you can take action and build these muscles, build this routine, get the books done so that you don't go to the grave with your song still in your heart. You have a lot of time to sleep. It's just not yet. Let's go.